Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. It's a simple setup today for the first time. I got a new simple setup where I can use my phone when we're not at home with the studio and whatnot. We still got the lav mics. We even have a light now, and it's my phone that technically can shoot in 4K, but I don't think we'll have room for that today.
You don't need that much detail.
No, it's a beer review, man.
Yeah.
But we're in Weile visiting Niklas. Niklas was with you in a review, like reviews back in the day at my mom's place.
It's like
when we were kids.
Like 12 years ago.
Yes. But we're in Weile, where Niklas lives, for our beer dinners guild. The others are out smoking. We're reviewing beer because I have time to shoot a lot of reviews when I'm doing these beer guilds. And then we can share awesome beers. So we're sharing 2 beers today that I got from Dan in Croatia. And these are 2 beers from the Garden Brewery. We're trying their collab with Craft Rough Brewing in Japan. And this is their Rice Cold IPA. And we're trying their Uvala House Sour. So this is their House Kettle Sour on 3.5%. That is hopped with Enigma, Citra, and Osaka. And then they use Pilsner malt, flaked wheat, and flaked oats in it. And the description on the sour is crisp, refreshing, and distinct, tart, mineral, and dry with pineapple and citrus notes. Nice. And the Rice Cold, the Cold IPA, is a super dry rice IPA, allowing the stone fruit hop notes to take center stage. And it's their first collab with Craft Rock from Tokyo. 6.1% of this one, featuring extra pale malt, rice flakes, and then the hops are Simcoe, Cryopop, Mosaic Incognito, Citra Cryo, Amarillo, and Strata. And then they use a lager yeast as well. They use Hellesfire Club, which is from WHC Labs. So that's interesting because cold IPAs are often not lagers, but sometimes they are lagers. Sometimes it's like lager yeast, sometimes it's not lager yeast. Like, there's so much variety these days. But what do you want to start with? The IPA that's strong or the sour that's low ABV?
Let's try the one to the right.
The sour. The one without any head retention.
Yeah.
It is so pale yellow.
Yeah.
It is so light in color. I mean, the color is really hard to get here. And
it almost looks like a white wine.
Yeah, or like a little bit like a glass of pee. That'd be a dick, but it's very pale. But let's check out the aroma. It smells like elderflower.
Yeah.
Smells like, to me, it smells like elderflower cordial. Elderflowersaft.
Yeah. But it's very light.
Very light, very easy going. It doesn't really smell that sour.
No, it doesn't smell.
But it's very mild.
It's very mild.
Well, let's try it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cheers. It tastes a lot like elderflower.
Yeah.
And citrus.
It's so light.
It's so light. It is like super lightly sour as well. It's not like super sour. Like, this is kind of like a session beer. Like, you can drink a lot of this.
Yeah.
But I've had beers on lower strength that's had much more complexity. Case in point, Metaphors Grisette Pebbles.
Yeah.
That when we had that was just like, this doesn't stand a chance. I know it's a completely different style. This is a kettle sour, but I think, to be frank, it's a little bit boring.
Yeah, it's very straightforward. Nothing crazy going on.
It's not a bad beer.
No.
It's got no off flavors. It's easy drinking. I think it's a very good introduction to sour beers, but this was something I've only drank to be like really refreshed and quaffed.
Yeah.
And when that comes down to that, there's other things I'd rather have in low strength. Like just a Pilsner around 4.55 would be better for me.
Yeah, I agree. But it's
not bad.
It's not bad. I could see myself drink this like on an easy summer day. I mean, if you just want something easy going, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So let's move on to Rice Cold, the IPA. Yeah. This one is also super pale, and that's of course because of rice. Lightly hazy. This was packaged. Oh, there's no date. But I think Dion said that this was fairly fresh when he sent it, and I've probably had it for just around 4 weeks, maybe. I should have drunk it sooner, but if you guys know the situation right now, I have a lot of beer from Franconia that I'm also wanting to drink. So
and a lot of other things going on as well.
Well, yes. So, like buying a house and having kids and shit. But let's check out the aroma on the cold IPA. Yeah, citrusy, grassy. I definitely smell Cryopop. Cryopop has an interesting nuance. It's a blend of hops that they call Cryopop because it pops. And I think it's Talus or Yeah, I think maybe Talus is part of it. It's either Talus or Sabro. And there's like this herbal, almost lemongrassy thing to me, which I think you get in Cryopop a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's also very soft. Like it's
Very
not
soft.
a very,
Very-
intense aromatic aroma.
It's very gentle. Very gentle.
Let's try it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
It's nice, but
It's-
it's also like really gentle on flavors.
It's really gentle.
Like the best cold IPAs I've had, they are basically more West Coast than West Coast. Like big bitterness, loads of bright hop flavor, and super clean, super crisp. This has the super crispness, but this is to me lacking the bitterness a little bit, especially if you think the cold
Yeah.
IPA, which was defined by Wayfinder,
Yeah.
and then like that pop and freshness. Like this almost seems a bit like a modern lager more so than like an IPA, like a West Coast Pilsner or something like that.
I am missing a bit more punch.
Yeah,
in a way.
pop and sing.
Yeah.
Like, but it's citrusy, slightly grassy, lemony, that herbal thing.
It is actually quite nice.
Yeah,
To be honest. I mean, it's
really refreshing. If
you just
total crusher.
If you just want something that is easygoing, I mean, and has nice flavors and tastes, it's good.
Not half bad. So, in terms of a grade for these two,
I think it's actually pretty difficult.
yeah, I definitely prefer rice cold. I think that's
Yeah.
more in my wheelhouse
I agree.
over the other one. But yeah, I'm not like super stoked on them. I'm also not hating them. I think early 80s for me, maybe like 82, 83, or 80 to 83, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only had a handful of beers so far from the Garden Brewery. They've not been bad, but they've all been like, they've also not been like fantastic either. They've been good beers, but they've just not been something where I've been like, wow, this is something I really want to drink. But I really disliked actually their milkshake IPA, but that's because it's a milkshake IPA. It's just me. But these were something, especially the cold IPA. I was thinking this is going to be great because it's a cold IPA. But like, I think it just needs more hops and more bitterness for me, especially if I think of Wayfinder's examples. So, yeah, early 80s.
I think also 83, 84, something like that maybe. I mean, it's a nice beer. It is. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I wouldn't say bland, but it's
about a little bit tame.
a little bit tame, a bit too gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, what about the sour? For me, that's also around this, like 80 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty decent, but I love more flavor.
Yeah. I mean, I think also I'm gonna give this like 84, 85 actually. I mean, I think this would be a good beer to introduce people with that are just getting into sours, that are just gonna try it for the first time or something like that. I mean, because this wouldn't throw anybody off.
No.
Basically.
No. So.
Yeah.
But that does it, man, for the review of the Uvala House Sour from the Garden Brewery and the Rice Cold IPA. Thanks a ton for the beers, Dan. It was fun to try them. So I think... No, we still have some interesting sours, but otherwise that was some of the last beers from you that we have. But don't worry, we'll get to the sours soon. I actually brought them today, so maybe we'll try them. They're spicy sours with like spices and stuff. It sounds pretty cool. So
Cool.
But if you guys had these, let us know what you thought of them. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up and enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos tomorrow. So cheers. And see you guys in another beer review.